Interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. Tony, police in Georgia recovered a 100-pound tortoise that had escaped from a local high school.
I'm Tony Kornheiser. I heard they found him at a Shell station.
Oh!
Get it? Come on, that's funny. You don't think that's funny?
It's kind of funny.
What happened to your voice? Have you lost your voice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Were you screaming at camera?
No, I was not loud at the Duke Carolina game.
You were not?
I didn't have a horse in that race.
Yeah.
There was nobody for me to scream at.
Well, your wife had a horse in that race.
That's
You went to Duke Law School.
I screamed at her.
At least you screamed at something. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, Jason Tatum fits right in. Duke rolls over North Carolina. And the U.S. plays Mexico tonight in the World Baseball Classic. But we begin today with a frenzy of player movement in the NFL. Ooh. It's Tua Tagovailoa out and Malik Willis in at quarterback for the Dolphins. Tua will reportedly sign a one-year deal with the Falcons. The Chiefs are reportedly adding Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker. Mike Evans leaves the Bucs for the Niners. And the Ravens made the big move of the weekend, landing pass rusher Max Crosby from the Raiders for two first-rounders. Wilbon, where do you want to start?
Kenneth Walker.
Okay. You love him.
Yeah.
You love him.
I like Kenneth Walker. I'm a child.
You like all running backs and you love him.
I like good running backs. Child of running backs. I don't believe running backs are just disposable and you don't need them. I'm not that guy. And neither would Seattle. Because I don't know where they'd be. The defense was great, but somebody had to play on the other side of the ball.
Well,
Kenneth Walker did that.
And okay. Charbonnet did, and Walker did.
Not Charbonnet in that game.
Not in that game.
Because he was gone by then.
That's right.
Kenneth Walker going to the Chiefs. They can't just walk out there and tell 15 Mahomes to save them every game. It didn't work last year, and it's not going to work going forward. They have to get him not just help, but real talent, and Kenneth Walker is that. So when I look around these other things, Tua going to Atlanta, I think that's actually okay if he's sort of a bridge starter and you get them back to Michael Penix. I think that could be okay.
We're going to disagree on that.
I like Malik Willis going to Miami. I was impressed with him in Green Bay.
And the head coach there now at Miami was a coach,
yes,
not an offensive
he's used
coach,
to seeing him.
Seen him against his defense.
Him, his scout team, day after day after day.
Yeah.
Like that move, even though I wish he had gone to Arizona. But I'm going to go with Kenneth Walker.
All right. If I could start with anything I wanted, I would start with Kyler Murray. But no matter what he does, he can't do anything officially until Wednesday, so I have to put that in my back pocket. Yeah. It's being reported, I think, by the NFL Network that he's close to going to Minnesota, which would be fine. Let me just say this about Tua, what you said about Tua. Tua had no protection anymore in Miami, new coach, new general manager. Nobody had his back, so you knew he was going to go.
Right.
He's a lefty, and maybe keeping the seat warm for another lefty in Michael Penix. But I think Tua may be better than Michael Penix. I think that may be his job to win.
Okay.
That is not the biggest news to me. And 5 years ago, I would have said Mike Evans going to the 49ers was the biggest news.
Not
because Kyle Shanahan would know how to get him the ball. But he's
Evans
a little bit older.
What, 11th year,
the biggest
12th
news
year?
to me is the Max Crosby deal. The Dallas Cowboys wanted Max Crosby. They offered a 1 and a 2. That's a lot. Baltimore comes in having never traded a number one ever and trade 2 number ones, including one this year in the top half of the draft. So this is an indication 14. That Baltimore is all in, that they are looking at Max Crosby to be a great fourth quarter defender, as he has been. They are looking to hand the ball to Derrick Henry because there's a new offensive coordinator, hand him the ball late.
Thank God.
And they are looking most of all to Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson.
To be Lamar Jackson again.
If you're not going to win it now, when are you going to win it? Lamar Jackson is 3-5 in the playoffs. So I would say to you, sitting here now in the month of March, that the most pressure in the league is on 2 guys. Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, Josh Allen in Buffalo.
I agree with you.
Right? Especially now that Kansas City has made this move.
Look what Buffalo did. They went out and got DJ Moore for the same purpose.
That's to make a run right now.
I hear you on Max Crosby. I just wouldn't want to spend a 1 and a 2. If you trust your scouting department, I'm sorry,
2 ones.
Dallas tried a 1 and a 2, it didn't work.
It's a lot.
Tony, especially if like Baltimore, over 3 decades, you trust your scouting and you don't trade that pick. You keep it and you use it and you win 2 Super Bowls in your time in the league. Man, that's a lot.
It is. By the way, we didn't mention Tyler Linderbaum.
Linderbaum, that's right.
The center who you could have used in Chicago.
Went to the Raiders.
Goes to the Raiders.
Yeah.
And what is being said about him is if they draft a rookie quarterback, Fernando Mendoza, then it makes sense to have a veteran.
No doubt about that.
We move on.
All right. So let's move to Jason Tatum. So far, a successful return to the Celtics lineup. Boston is 2-0 since he returned from that Achilles injury that sidelined him under 10 months. He scored 15 in Friday's home win over the Mavericks, 20 in Sunday's road win in Cleveland, playing 27 minutes in each game. So, Tone, where do these early returns put the Celtics against their competitors in the East?
I did something that I don't normally do. I set aside the evening to watch that game, the first game, when Tatum came back for the first time. I thought he looked slow and out of sync. Okay. I know he had a double-double. He missed a dunk at one point, and he just
0 for 6
he just didn't look like he belonged on the court. Right. Now, it's way too early to talk about this. The results are good so far, but he is not yet Jason Tatum. Still, the Celtics the other day beat Cleveland at Cleveland. That's an impressive win because James Harden has made Cleveland a better club.
Yes, he has.
It seems to me, Mike, that right now as we sit here, the rest of the East is sinking a little bit. The New York Knicks got beat badly by the Lakers without LeBron James, and Detroit is in a tailspin. They have now lost 4 in a row, 3 to playoff teams, I believe. Cleveland 1, Miami 2, and San Antonio 3. They picked a very bad time to go south. So it augurs well for Boston.
It does, Tony. And I'm not going to say I disagree with you because part of me with Jason Tatum was like, wow, is anybody in his ear saying don't do this? Think the other thing through, maybe don't do this? But here's what Jason Tatum realizes, and again, because it's the Celtics, I give them the benefit of the doubt.
He's going to get better and better. He's going to get better and better.
So because to become Jason Tatum, he's got to play.
That's right.
Does it mean it's not too early? No, it doesn't mean that. But right now, Tony, he looked better in that second game.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Than he did in the first game.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. With Jason Tatum healthy, the Celtics lost to the Knicks last year. They did.
Okay.
That was the Knicks year. But the Knicks are now the number 1 team in the league defensively since January 1. I know there's something about the Knicks I'm not certain about. Yeah. Maybe they're a little bored. They don't look as good as they did, as sharp as they did last year, as combative as they were last year. But, Tony, the Knicks, there's no reason to think the Knicks aren't going to be nose to nose with the Celtics.
If you want to, we can spend the rest of the time talking about Jason Tatum and the Celtics and the Knicks, but that's a long arc thing.
Yes, it is.
The explosive story right now.
What?
Is the San Antonio Spurs.
Yes.
They have won 4 in a row, 9 of 10, 15 of 16. Wembanyama is doing everything you said he would do. And you know what? It's not slurping if he actually does it. And you know what we have tomorrow night?
Yeah.
We have Boston at San Antonio, which is a get your popcorn ready situation. Boston is a killer short road trip. At Cleveland, which they won, at San Antonio, at Oklahoma City. That's very hard. But if Jason Tatum continues to improve, you are looking at something that could well be the finals.
You know what San Antonio is going to do tomorrow that the first 2 teams didn't do? They're going to blitz Jason Tatum.
Okay.
They got young guys who are going to think, oh, my God, this is Mr. Tatum. They're going to make some bones against Jason Tatum.
And that's fine, but he's still in the advancing stage.
Of course he is.
It's a slow process. Let's turn to college basketball and the end of the regular season. Number 1 Duke beat number 17 North Carolina by 15 points. Number 3 Michigan beat number 8 Michigan State, with Tom Izzo getting very upset at his best player, Jeremy Fears, for backwards kicking a Michigan player in the groin.
Yeah.
UConn got beat at Marquette, probably costing them a 1 seed in the NCAAs. And Danny Hurley got tossed late and appeared to bump a referee. Hurley was fined $25 large by the Big East. Miami of Ohio completed its regular season at 31-0 with an overtime win over Ohio, yet another close win lately. Wilbon, you were at Duke Carolina in Cameron. Do you want to start with that?
Kind of, Tony, half of that. I'm going to start with Duke and Michigan.
Okay.
It's all about them now. It was great, and I know you know this from the other side of this when we were covering the Lakers and the Celtics back in the day, and you go in the post-game locker room and you talk to Magic or Bird or McHale, whoever it was. They were playing each other across the country from 3,000 miles, even though that day the Celtics might have beat the Sixers and the Lakers might have beat Denver. No. Because Magic would say off the record quietly, we're looking at Bird. And Bird would say off the record quietly, looking at Irvin. Because they were playing each other. To me, Michigan and Duke, they'll never admit it, nor should their coaches nor players.
They played once.
They played once in a great game.
Yeah, Duke won.
They're looking at one another. And Tony, you know what I think that'll mean for this week? They won't want to take their foot off the gas in their conference tournaments. So that's what I'm saying. By the way, Hurley, he's becoming a nuisance.
See,
nuisance.
I like Hurley. I know he's
Me
explosive.
too.
Was it you or I who said first he's the John McEnroe of coaching.
Yeah,
one of us said that.
That's good.
This was a costly weekend for them because not only do I think they played their way by losing to Marquette out of a number 1 seed in the tournament, St. John's now wins the Big East. And St. John's, that's the number 1 seed in the Big East tournament. St. John's, the same team that, I don't know, 48 hours ago, it seems, that UConn beat by 32 maybe, and St. John's missed the last 24 shots that they took in that game. I understand what you're saying about Duke and Michigan. I think you're leaving out a couple of teams. I think Arizona is in that mix.
I think those teams are great.
Florida is in that mix. I think the number 2 seeds, UConn, Houston, maybe Iowa State, maybe Nebraska. One of the most surprising teams in the country, right? One of the most surprising teams.
Yes.
I'm just going to talk for about 10 seconds why I'm happy for Miami of Ohio. And the last 3 games, they won by 2, and by 2 in overtime.
Yeah.
They were pushed. They are now, no matter what happens in the tournament, in their league tournament, they are in. That is a non-issue now. And I would also say this. If you are from a school that is a 1-bid league, Mike, I think the team that wins the regular season should get the bid. I think
overwhelmingly.
Yes, I think if you have put in months to establish this, it shouldn't be undone in 4 days. 4 days.
I was so glad when we had Jay Billis on with us Friday to hear that from Jay with confidence. But let me just go back for a second. As good as those other teams are, and I'm sort of
I know you like Duke.
I'm rooting for Arizona, just at my new life there. Tony, Duke and Michigan. This is like UNLV and Duke to me. And maybe you got to take a hybrid of both years.
Caleb Forster got hurt, but it's still, he's got a week to 10 days to come.
He's got a week.
I will just say this: nothing that happens in these conference tournaments is going to affect seeding now. That's done. No. Well, if somebody wins something, they have to go hard.
Right.
But I'm saying if any of the really good teams lose, it's not going to matter to seeding. Let's take a break. Coming up, what is the biggest takeaway so far from the World Baseball Classic?
And we have another marathon leader who takes a costly, wrong turn.
Izzo got really mad at that kid. That was like when Mick Cronin, right, got really mad at UCLA.
Except here's the difference. Cronin doesn't equal Izzo.
Right. And apparently this kid's had issues before.
Yes, he has.
Right.
He's a great player, by the way.
Well,
he's seriously.
Okay,
that
but
fears.
Is there a
that
but?
Kid's a great player.
Is there a but?
You don't.
Trying to find out what's cooking with the couch potatoes in mail time. I'll put on my glasses and get the first one, and I will read it. Here we go.
Couch potato. It's a mad.
What's your biggest takeaway following the first weekend of the World Baseball Classic?
All right, I'm going to pull a Tony Kornheiser and go to the glasses here.
Okay.
First of all, Tony, Mexico, this game tonight.
Yep.
Skeens going against Mexico.
Starting.
Which is 3-1 against the United States in this competition. 3-1.
Over a
Did you
long
know that?
period of time.
Okay, but still.
But over a long period.
But they got guys on that team like Alejandro Kirk, the Toronto catcher, Patrick Sandoval, Arosa Reyna, Paredes, Verdugo, Austin Barnes, Jaron Durant. They got players, man. They got an all-star squad too. I'm not saying their lineup because I know how impressed you are. You went crazy over the weekend.
I'm going to get to that.
With the U.S. lineup.
That's right.
And particularly my boy Schwarber, who went Mickey Mantle.
From the sound of it, you knew.
I saw it later.
A question, how many hundreds of feet was it going
I got the video after you. I thought you had exaggerated it.
No.
And I went, whoa.
So I'm going to say that my biggest takeaway is how much I like this. I am surprised at how much I like this. This is sort of, for me, like the Four Nations Cup in hockey, that I didn't know anything about it, and then I watched it, and I loved it, and I was...
This has been around for 20 years.
But I didn't know about it. I didn't really know about it. I was disappointed last night. I was sitting down to watch the United States last night, and they were not on. My second biggest takeaway is that lineup. Let me read you the first day's lineup. Bobby Witt Jr., Bryce Harper, Aaron Judge, Kyle Schwarber, Alex Bregman, Cal Raleigh. And the next day they put in Will Smith and Gunnar Henderson and Pete Crow Armstrong, your boy. And they're trying to win. Yeah. This means something to the players, so much so that Derek Skubal is now rethinking his position of only starting that one game. I am looking forward to the Mexico game tonight. I am looking forward to Skeens. I am hoping that Skeens can get out of the first inning without giving up a first batter home run like the other guys did not. But I'm impressed with it. I'm impressed with it.
You got no electricity in your building?
I never saw it before.
To quote a famous former
I
club
saw
reliever?
I saw the last pitch of the last one, but that's all I saw.
Next letter. Who's reading this? Am I reading this?
It's your turn.
Can you divorce the preposterously close finish of the LA Marathon from the fact that the leader briefly followed a motorcycle off the course with 400 meters to go.
No, I cannot them the race.
I was trying to come up with some excuse for the drivers.
No.
I tried. And I thought, well, maybe millennials who
have the motorcycle break the tape.
Maybe millennials who now run races and participate in everything, maybe they're so used to looking at their phones when they cross the street that they're not paying any attention ever when they're doing anything. And so they don't pay attention. I wanted to give the drivers an excuse, and I can't do it.
No, you can't.
Can't do it.
No, I mean, it happens so often. You have to say to them, you guys break the tape.
Isn't there some training to do?
Well,
don't they train for this? Doesn't somebody pace them through it?
I assume they turn off because they're near the finish line or something like that. But you cannot do this to
Aren't
a runner,
there, like,
the
you know how,
runner.
you know how both teams get ground rule instructions?
Yes, they're told. The runners are told don't do it, but you're in the middle of the race. It's just, no, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's enough email. It's enough. Let's take one last break. Still to come, another buzzer beater in March.
Too much marathon coverage. Did all that fighting.